Hello everybody. I'm sorry that this is an audio again, but I think it's a really good way for me to keep in touch with you at the moment. Thank you for all the messages. They've been brilliant. I always enjoy hearing from you. I read every one of your messages and quite strange that my videos are being age restricted, but well, we can see now what's going on with the big tech takeover, the censorship, whatever. You can see why it was so important to get everyone off Twitter so they can virtually pull any stunt they want and then silence dissenting voices. So I just wanted to talk briefly. I did touch on this many months ago, but it's worth reiterating. Since we're under these COVID restrictions, these COVID lockdown, it is affecting not only our day-to-day life, but it's affecting us as a functioning democracy. It remains to be seen when elections will take place. For example, local elections, because now Michael Gove is hinting the lockdown might go on till April, which means no campaigning, which means no local elections. Now, while local elections aren't that great at the moment, it might be the only forum for us to express our view on what's going on here, particularly as a lot of local councils have been pursuing a rather ridiculous what would you call it, a strategy of cutting off street parking. So they are limiting your access to the high street, making it more difficult for you to frequent the local bakery, the local fruitier, hairdressers, dry cleaners, whatever it is, the butcher, whatever it is in high street. They're closing off high street parking. I was recently up in the Midlands and in Leamington Spa. They've closed the entire high street off for social distancing. Now, if anyone's been to Leamington, it's a very wide parade that goes down the high street with very wide pavements, stopping traffic going up and down. It's doing absolutely nothing to address COVID, even if it was that infectious. So let's look at, I've just talked about the possibility that we're not going to have local elections. And to be honest, I question whether we will have elections again. There certainly isn't any point. At this stage, it's pretty clear that Boris Johnson is captured by the same globalist cabal that have captured the Labour Party. In fact, I don't think that the Conservatives and Labour were ever any different, and you can see now with what's going on with Biden, and they just following suit. Isn't that wonderful? Biden's in, let's resume the Paris Accord. Guys, I'm watching that and they're saying Biden's policy is going to rejoin TTP, rejoin the Paris Accord, blah blah blah. All predictable, because that's the exact script that every other country in the world is on. So why would that be different? It's just a case of following the globalist technocratic script. Now, what I want to talk about is jury trials. Now, the whole concept of a jury remains under threat because of COVID. And I strongly believe that jury trials won't return. Now, I was listening to Gemma O'Doherty's coverage of a trial, a murder trial that took place in Dublin. The accused name is Aaron Banks. And she said that the witnesses, who were in the US, some of them, gave their testimony by Zoom call. In fact, I think the whole trial basically was conducted by Zoom call. I think there were very, very few people live in court. And one of the things she pointed out on the Zoom call was that during testimony, a witness basically paused and had a communication with someone off camera. Now that's interfering with a witness during their giving of testimony. So if this is the road we're going to go down by doing court trials by Zoom and having no jury, then justice itself is under massive threat. If you can't see the witness giving evidence and you can't judge their body language, their demeanor, their eye contact, their tone of voice, and you can't see that they definitely haven't been interfered with or received help, then how can you judge what they're saying is true or not when they're receiving advice or coaching from someone off camera? That's just one of the things she highlights. I would also like to say that getting rid of juries is certainly plays into the technocratic agenda. Because what will they always tell you? If you say and issue an opinion on COVID, the first thing they're going to say to you is, oh, but you're not a doctor, right? And then my rebuttal to that would be, yes, but in jury trials, in important cases, be it murder, extortion, fraud, grievous bodily harm, there are 12 men and women. You are judged by your peers. And the 12 men and women are not necessarily doctors. They could be hairdressers, plumbers, accountants. It doesn't matter what they are. They are not doctors, but they are entrusted to listen to the evidence of highly skilled professionals from the medical field, giving maybe forensic or DNA or complicated scientific evidence. They're entrusted to be able to listen to that and make a judgment by listening to different experts. So I would say you don't have to be a doctor to make a judgment on things going on in the world, because you can use your common sense and intelligence, and as long as you listen to a number of opinions, why shouldn't you make a judgment on that? But you can see that they want to get rid of juries, because juries aren't doctors, because juries aren't seen as now being capable enough, because we must be ruled by experts. So years ago, centuries ago, we had the priests who were the experts on morality, and they had to rule society, tell you how to think, what to do, how to live your life. But now we've got a new type of religion, the scientific religion, where the technocrats know it all and are going to tell you. But the thing is, you're not allowed to listen to different technocrats. No, they are the appointed technocratic elites, and whatever they say goes. So I think getting rid of juries plays into this whole theme we see in society, is that we must be governed by experts, and unless you are an expert in a subject, you just better shut up, you don't have an opinion. Like all doctors agree, because all science is a work in progress. There's no such thing as a consensus in science. There never should be. If there's a consensus in science, that means there's basically a tyranny going on in science.